What's up, everybody? It's so hard not to smile when you're having this much fun. It's Freaky Friday on the big show with the big man and the best guest. We got the Just Bus in the house at player_props. You know my dude, Justin, is the man. He's co-host with our boy Stu, Monotone Football. Make sure you follow them both on the Blackbird X, whatever it is. They have the 1A, man. Pass the prop is the best, man. And especially because the other sports you guys do, like basketball and UFC, and it's all just as good, man. Just what's going on, my friend?
Not too much, man. It's a huge slate today, so I've been up a little earlier than normal. We're over here in Wisconsin, so
Appreciate it, man.
It's popping up, checking. I'm like, holy man, we got some work to do today. We got a lot of stuff to get after, but I love these slates where you have some absolute trash cans, and then you have some high end aces, right? There is so little in between. Like you got a slate with Tuki Toussaint, you got with Chris Flexen, and then you just go look over on the other side, and you get some high end aces. You got Scherzer, Senga. You got some of my boys out there. So it's like these are the fun slates because you look at one game and it's like, oh, seven total. The other one's 14, and it's like these are the slates I like to get after.
It's funny you mention that. You guys can see all my other work on Twitter at John Laghezza. And all my, the pitching sheets I do, all the team totals or whatever. I listen, man, it's no secret. Like, I talk fast, you move fast, a lot of data, like you're saying. So I use conditional formatting with colors like to match Savant, red and blue. So I see it. Like it jumps off the page when you see bright red or bright blue. That's one of the things people like about my work. You kind of bring it up, and you find, if you're looking for strikeout props, you find the brightest color, and start there. I made it pretty easy. You're right, man. We got a ton of that. It's going to be fun today. All right, a couple of usual suspects, of course. I mean, guys, appreciate you. Brian E., Brian R., Rich Clark, Jeff L., Jay Shank, Insight, Tim York, Adam Dubs. What's going on, everybody? Yes, the sushi class will be later on today. I would like to announce everybody survived. I mean, sushi for the first time yesterday, which is very funny. My wife was out, and I was like, so this is probably like the worst time for everyone to get sick. Well, we all survived. Everyone had a great time doing it, and it came out pretty good. So, all right, let's have some fun. Jake, let's just get right up into it. We're gonna feature you, my man. I'll serve it up and you spike it. First up, it's the Marlins. Yuri Perez, -160 favorite on the road against our Nats and Jake Irvin, although the shine coming off the Nats a little bit. Irvin's kind of getting exposed. ERA catching up to all the indicators and stuff. He doesn't get the swinging strikes, so he's kind of relying on contact. But when you're pitching in Washington, that's a major problem. Yuri Perez is like the freaking GOAT right now. And Miami, once they moved on from Robertson into the bullpen, they're even looking pretty good. And the national bullpen looking pretty rocky as well. Man, we hit the run line cover here yesterday.
Yep.
Do you think we go back to the well there today? It's plus money, I think.
I mean, it's tough not to. It's like I look at this line. It's like -160. What is it? -165 to the Marlins. I thought it'd be a little wider, to be honest. I thought it'd be a little bit more just because you saw it yesterday. If Lane Thomas does not play, dude, this lineup just looks so dead. Like, it goes Meneses at the 2, and then I'm looking at the bottom of this lineup, and it's like Carter Kieboom is the 4-hitter here. Like, come on now. Like, it's tough for me to want to go to the Nationals here, especially if Lane Thomas is out. I mean, you're getting, Alex Call at the bottom. You're getting Young at the bottom, right? I'll always show love to my boy CJ Abrams. That guy is my boy. He's been doing fantastic.
Yeah, he's legitimately good.
Yeah, he's done fantastic work this year, but the rest of this team is just not good. It's tough to watch, and we just saw Jack with the homer last night. We're seeing some power start coming from these guys, and this lineup's just so much deeper. And like you said, the bullpen is fantastic. They didn't even have to really. I mean, they brought.
Right, I got a little stuck there. He got hung up. That's okay. So I think let's get the run line going till Jay comes back fluid. All right, you're back, man. Sorry, you got hung up for a second. So I think we're going to go for the run line now. I do have a question for you because we're like focused on this K-leader board. We've done very well in this stuff. So my question, whenever I get the sharpest in the shed here, how do you like to look at it? Because what I have found, and I know you're a pitching guy, you know more about pitching than I do. I used to focus on the pitcher. Who's got the big swing and miss and all the velo and all that. And don't get me wrong, I get it. Those guys get strikeouts, no doubt. But they're also always the favorite. And you need, you need a lot of Ks. Then you look at the teams. So today's a perfect example. Dude, Yuri Perez's swinging stuff, miss stuff is excellent. He's a pop for a dozen Ks. But Washington is not really that team, right? The strikeout rate's been low all year. They don't swing and miss. They make a ton of contact. So, like, do you see Perez as somebody that could strike up the Nats 10 times? Like, you don't really care about the offense? I always wonder because there really are two very opposite ways to look at it.
Yeah, no, and this is kind of funny because it's the same way I'm thinking about the Glasnow Guardians matchup, right? It's the same type of thing, right? They're both the kind of same way, but what makes it different is Washington's like trying to swing early. So like I'm trying to take out props against the Nationals and the Guardians because these guys, like even yesterday, I was watching that game because I had some Marlins and hit props, right? I had Arias and a couple other guys, but they're like letting that ball get so deep and then they're just like slashing at it late. Like Meneses had a couple where he just tried to hit it out of the guy's glove. But then you look at his swing, like there's a ball that was right down the middle and he gave a good swing, but it's not going out because he doesn't have any, intent behind the ball, right?
Dude, how the numbers validated. 3.5% barrel rate as a team, 500 plate appearances. Yeah. Yikes, man. Come on, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, you got to do better than that. That out call is actually that's a really sharp look, where we've been talking about that also on the show. Learning from people that are really involved in these prop markets to find that they offer these things. It's a sick menu. Like, why go up against the general market that everybody's on that's mad sharp when you're killing it, man. So I appreciate that. That's really cool. Did we miss anything in this one? I think
not really.
I think you're right. I wouldn't go with this strikeout stuff again. I have found, and again, we're winning these things, my man. Whoever is facing the Twins, the White Sox, the Mariners, and the Angels, dude, it doesn't matter if they're 130 to 1. Michaelis has 12 Ks against the Twins, and you're like, what? Graham Ashcraft, 10 strikeouts last time out. Although, kicking myself, he fell one short of the daily leaderboard. And so another one that I know that you're sharp and on. I'm just getting into this pitch and prop stuff. This is my first season doing them for as long as I've been betting. The alt props, I think are like that's how I am with football. They're always juiced up. I think they're too high, so I don't really bother. You get to the alt props, like, ooh, dude, Ashcraft, that alt prop was a smash, right? Mm-hmm. If we'd like him to win the day for 12 Ks, then we should have done it. So I'm going to keep my eye on the bad strikeout teams. Washington's not that. You made another great point. Glasnow and the Guardians is like another perfect example. Glasnow's going to be juiced up. He's going to be a favorite. It's very hard to strike out 11 Guardians. It's just what it is. So, all right, next up, it's the one we kind of led into before. So I had already buried the lead. I like the Mariners and Logan Gilbert against Cody Senga and the Mets. Anytime I can get Gilbert at minus 120, I'm kind of all over that. They've both been very good. I'm not trying to knock Senga. Even like the control stuff has cleaned up a little bit. This one really comes down to the offense. The Mariners offense is humming right now. And they're stealing bases. Like, J-Rod's on fire. So, like, that rising tide lifting all ships. They're number one. You know what I mean? Anytime you're doing something better than the Braves, you're doing, like, 305 batting average as a team last 500, 390 OBP. It's a 159 OPS. 922 OPS, 159 WRC+. Like, dude, they're just humming. So, Mets bullpen's also been an abject freaking disaster right now. I just think Mariners outlast them. Do you like the Mets at 5? Like, did you actually bet that? I hear you if you like it. That's why I didn't cut this one to 5 innings.
Yeah, no, and I hear you on the Mets bullpen. It is very scary. As a guy who has Senga in fantasy, I can't even tell you how many times I've lost a win because of that bullpen where Senga gets up early. It's just he is so dominant at home, dude. He is so good in that stadium. And it's been that since the start of the season, right? Usually guys who come over as rookies, quote unquote rookies, even though he's played professional ball for a while, he immediately did well in New York. If you go, on the road for the first couple months, he was bad. He was struggling. He couldn't throw strikes. But now, dude, he's got a 184 batting average allowed at home overall. Like, that's fantastic. You take away all of these you look at these lefties, right? They're going to probably have, Raleigh from the left side. You're going to have Canzone probably in there as well. You're going to have JP Crawford at the top of this lineup. He does not give up anything to lefties. Like, the power numbers are absurd. He's been so good. And he's obviously not giving up that much power to righties either. Like, neither one of them are over 400 slugging. Against lefties, you're lucky to make contact on him. That's really what it is. That fork, ghost fork is fantastic. I love Kodai Senga. And this is going to actually be the first leg of a parlay that I will be having. And it's because He's been so damn good. And I used to take it. I think I did it on the show the first time I came on. I took Senga under 1.5 earned runs. I've been playing under 2.5 every single game now. Every single game that Senga's thrown, they're giving me 2.5. It's sitting at like minus 150, minus 160 for earned runs.
Hit that.
And I actually have a combo with it coming up here in a little bit that I'll give you that combos with it. But my God, dude, you're going up against a team that does swing and miss a lot, but this team has been hitting for power. Kodai doesn't give up power, right? That's where I'm kind of concerned with this Mariners team because they have been crushing home runs, right? Their power numbers are insane. But if you're going to have a guy that misses barrels and misses bats overall, I think it's going to be a little tougher one here. I think that Senga's live for that daily K leader. I think that we definitely could see it going into New York. I know it's another pitcher-friendly park there. So Senga's got the leash. Senga will go 6-7 innings now. I know he early in the year would barely get to 5 because he'd walk so many guys. But he's looked fantastic. His walk rate has been cleaned up, like you mentioned. And he's just got so much swing and miss. That ghost thing is close to 50% whiff. This dude is
insane. It really is insane.
So I really like Kodai Senga, and that under 2.5 will be a part of.
Both of them are, like you said, both of those guys are a pop for the daily K leader. Let's keep an eye on Gilbert as well. He's got the 25K to only 5 walk on the season, and the Mets right now are just the offense is terrible. 27% K rate as a squad, last 500 PAs, 12 swing and strike, 82 zone contact. So I think Gilbert's going to kind of dice him up. This Mets team is not what it once was. Again, all of these things could be true. To be honest, I actually really like that cap, which would be funny if you could. This would be a sick same game parlay. Mets F5 with Senga under 2.5 runs, but the Mariners win and the alt under because that's how I could easily. I think this one's going to be close because of. I think it's going to be low total because of all the strikeout stuff. 2 quality pitchers. I just have I've been doing so well with the algo of going up against bad bullpens that I've just been kind of going with it. You know what I mean? When you're getting 3 innings against a really crappy bullpen, they give up 2 or 3 runs every single night, and you just get bailed out. And like I said, the Mets offense kind of sucks. So all right, let's go up next. You mentioned this one. I actually had this paired with Miami as a donkey play, pairing the Florida Fish. So it's Glasnow minus 180 favorite against Cal Quantrill and the Guardians. We're getting to that point in the season where I know the Guardians are competing, but this ain't it, right? I don't. Oh, what happened? The young kid got hurt, right? The Gavin Williams got hurt, right? That's what it was.
No, that sucks.
I think this was probably I think this was his spot. Gavin Williams was rolling. I think he got hurt, and I think this was his spot. So Cal Quantrill is up, and it's been really bad for him. He had outperformed expectations and all the peripherals and underlying stuff for a long time. And now I think he's paying the piper. 6.5 ERA, 1.6 whip through 67 innings. We're at the point in the season where the Rays, I think, just kind of outclassed the Guardians. They're really great in all 3 phases. The Rays' offense is even starting to tick up a touch. We haven't quite gotten to what we saw earlier on in the year, man. That was outrageous. They were on fire. We haven't seen that again. We may again. But I think they have the Guardians' number. So, if you could sell me on pretty much anything attached to Tampa today, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is maybe this is going to be a really big park downgrade for Tampa going here. So don't see too much power coming off of Quantrill here in this park. So, I mean, that's literally the only thing I could say positive about Cal Quantrill is the park is big. So, hey, you give up 400-foot bombs to center field and you'll get it caught. So it's just tough for me to want to back Quantrill here. But I think my favorite spot was what I mentioned before, and that's the same thing that I mentioned in the matchup with the Nationals was I think the outs prop for Glasnow is a good look. I would assume it's probably 17.5 just because the Guardians do swing early in counts. But the Guardians just don't have pop, right? They just don't have that pop to really make you pay for missing in the zone. And I mean, their best power hitter right now is probably Bo Naylor, dude. Come on. That can't be your most scary bat in a lineup and try to fight against Glasnow. I think these guys are going to want to swing early in counts because once you get to 2 strikes, it's pretty much over for these guys.
Dude, you really just lit a fire for me right now. I got to remember. I'm saying it out loud, so I remember to do it because I know my man John Anderson. If anybody's into baseball data, make sure you follow his stuff. It's awesome. It's unbelievably good. And I help make it better because I talk to smart people. I get good ideas. I go to him. He adds it to his Tableau shit is insane. I want to see this now. I'm going to make him run pitches per plate appearance for team, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Offensive,
team, that would be
right.
yeah.
Pitches seen per plate appearance. You just freaking blew my mind with the outprops, bro. You just blew my mind. My buddy Matt has been really going. He's so good because he just makes it really simple. He's like, dude, you find bad pitchers, and they list him at 15.5. A lot of times you go under. And a lot of times a bad pitcher, if they get through 5, the coach is like, yes,
Yep.
yes. Right, it's a win. They had it yesterday. We cracked them, and they ended up moving it yesterday. Whatever guy pitched for the Pirates yesterday. So that was super sharp, and I'm going to make sure that I remember to mention that, dude. You really are. You have such a great perspective. And again, people, that's why we bring these sharp people on. Rate, review, and subscribe because that shit matters more than it should. Way more than it should. No one says, hey, man, you're like, is this guy like smart and compelling? Is there like good conversation? Are people learning? No. Like, how many Twitter followers do you have? How many likes do you have? Meanwhile, the people that they hire based on Twitter followers post like bikini pics, and that's where all the interaction comes from. It's so ridiculous. It's just absolutely absurd. It's borderline embarrassing. But again, this is why we built kind of this thing of ours here, which is, dude, I am so proud to have you as part of this thing that we built where people come here for the truth, right? They come here for honesty and like being genuine and trying to be sharp. And I don't assert. Listen, I'm brash and I'm out there. I'm loud, but I know like I'm here to learn, and we all have to work together. So again, thanks for being part of the tapestry. The failings here at 300. We may not be huge, but we're freaking mighty. All right, next one. Joe Ryan and the Twins. This one I'm just leaving because I'm not sure, and I hate to go under these really low totals. So it's Joe Ryan and the Twins. He looked pretty sharp. Max Scherzer and the Rangers, old man is revitalized. Rangers' offense has been a little bit of a disappointment lately. Like, if you're chasing that offense to crush, they haven't done it. Minnesota's actually been pretty good. But again, I don't know if they're going to hit Scherzer. I'm kind of leaving this one.
Yeah, so this is kind of a fun one for me because you talk about like your alt strikeouts. I do alt strikeouts as well, but what I've really been liking and what has really been good for me, if you watch Past the Prop, I do these as my long shot almost every single time. And it's alt run lines through the first 5. Those are the ones that I like. So I love the Rangers today. Right now, if you want their run line, it's -105. I think you're muted there.
Oh yeah, I was. I want to step on you, but a plus or minus side. You like to be on the favorite side or the dog side?
I usually like a favorite side. Usually.
Okay.
So like when I'm betting on, so I'm going to be taking the Rangers first 5 run line here. I think it's like -105. But if you go to FanDuel, you can go to alternate run lines, and you can get like +300 for them to win by 2 or by 3, right? And my biggest thing here is if you go to Joe Ryan here, he's got a 5.01 road ERA, and what I really like is the Rangers smash at home, right? They obviously smash at home. They smash right-handed pitching. In 24 innings of the second half of this season, Joe Ryan's given up 10 nukes. You've given up 10 homers. Like, I thought Scherzer had issues giving up bombs, dude. But my God.
he does too.
Yeah, but it's not even close to this. That's what I'm saying. Like, Scherzer gives up bombs, but 10 homers in 24 innings is absurd. You're going to tell me this guy's going to get through Seager and Semien without giving up a bomb in the first inning? That might be a fun one for me to long shot too, is either one of them to hit a homer in the first inning, because I feel like this is going to be like 3 or 4 bombs from the Rangers here. I love Ezekiel Duran at the bottom of this order as well, but I think Scherzer shoves here. He just faced him in his last outing, and I think it'll be even more fun here because I think he had like a 9.
So did Ryan was good. Ryan went 5, gave up 1, struck out 7.
Yep.
Against Texas, although I got to be honest, like, when you think about the type of pitcher Joe Ryan is, only going 5 says a lot to the offense. And now it's like they just saw him a couple days ago. I don't really know how I feel about that. When the back-to-back one, I don't really have a stance. Do you have a stance on back-to-back games? I know some people like to reverse it. I don't know.
I think it favors the batters, in my opinion, but it also like when it switches to home road for a pitcher, that's huge. Like, you already got to see Ryan at his best spot, right? He's significantly better at home. Now you're going to see him again on the road where he's almost 3 runs worse. I think that favors the Rangers there. And now you're bringing in Scherzer back home where he throws better. So I think that this is going to be a very big Rangers spot, in my opinion. I would not be surprised to see, like, this would be one of those like really, really low owned stacks in DFS that I would play because no one wants to play them. They're $6K plus for Seager and Semien. but no one wants to play up. But I think they're going to drop bombs here. I think we're going to see some home runs here, and I definitely don't mind that Twins bullpen either, especially the what do we call them?
You know what's funny? We kind of do this all the time, right? As we're doing our analysis, we're like looking at the board. You kind of had me licking my chops at the over 4 all of a sudden. The F504. Because again, I mean, that's super sharp balls. That's how you get to these overs, is hitting home runs. Like that's the best way to do. It's the best way to do it. So I was asking Jay to bring up the max K props. I was wondering what they look like because, of course, the Twins, no matter how good they're hitting. See, I never go to 9. I can't go to 9 strikeouts as like a standard, as a base. So I'm gonna just leave it. I can't get there. Yeah, and it's minus 120. Like, that's nuts. So I'm gonna leave it again. Whatever. Even though Scherzer's gonna be the heavy chalk for the daily K leaderboard. Well, let's move it up. We gotta hustle. So this one also, I don't got much here. It's hard for me because it's my Yankees, and it's Rodon versus Verlander. And again, I know people dogpile the Yankees, and I get they suck right now. When they're not facing the lefty, they're pretty much untenable on offense. I stepped on that rake yesterday. Rodon's looked a little bit better, but we haven't gotten anything good from him. Verlander's been damn good. He's probably going to carve him up. Houston offense is humming. So this one's probably Astros by a mile. The reason I'm more disappointed more than my Yankees thinking is these used to be big marquee regular season games, and now like nobody cares. Like nobody cares, dude. All my Yankee friends, no one could care less. People are talking about going out to the smokehouse, the barbecue pit instead. And so I don't know. I guess I'm leaving it. We probably could pile on a run line here. The Yankees, still get like a little bit of love from the public. So maybe that's where the value is. If you think Houston's going to mop them up, he's heavy favorite on the 185, but you can get the plus 125, plus 130 on the run line. They're really trying to tempt you to beat up on the Yankees. What do you think, man?
So this is like my last one that I'm like really, really happy about, like that I really want to play today. Obviously, I haven't told you guys the second part of the single play, but tell me why they are listing Justin Verlander under 2.5 earned runs at almost plus money, minus 105. That is absolutely disgusting. This Yankees team can't hit righties. We just talked about it. You saw Verlander's an absolute wizard at home. He's absolute wizard at 227 right now. And who am I worried about in this lineup outside of Judge and maybe Stanton when he closes his eyes and finds a barrel and the ball goes 400, right? I think that the 2.5 is probably one of my favorite spots on the entire board. I'm probably going to go put it on my YouTube play of the day for today because I absolutely love it that much. 2.5, the Yankees team total for this game is 3.5, minus 130 to the under. So I like the Astros bullpen. I think that I don't even know if they're going to give up a run. So I don't understand where we're getting this opening here where they think that Verlander's just going to get rocked, but they're going to say under 4. Like, this is an absolute smash spot for me. I love Verlander under 2.5 earned runs today. I can't believe they gave me this price. I'm damn near getting plus money on this for a team who can't hit.
Again, one of the reasons I think people come here, or I hope at least, that was like 12 of them, right? So like awesome analysis and sharp play aside, right? Because they are that. The way that you use the book against itself is part of your genius, Just. I mean that's one of the things I'm trying to get better at, right? For years, I don't know, it started as like a McCartney thing. I'm taking the hardest test, so I would kind of bet the general market at the last minute, trying to help people win, public bettors win at closing price. It's really, really hard. But now that everyone has access to this stuff, that was part of the reason I was doing it. Because if you could never put out a total base play. No one knew what the hell that was. You can't get that. You couldn't get action on that. Now millions of people could get action on that on the toilet. So you could kind of play this stuff. And I found I was behind the curve. I was being stubborn. There's no need to do that. You don't have to smash your head up against this stuff. These numbers, these lines are out there. Think about what Justin just did. Again, forget the names and all the numbers. What they matter for today. Going forward, the feather in the cap he dropped you is using the book against itself. Look at these freaking lines. Who is looking at out props? These are soft markets. Who's looking at under earned runs and comparing it to the team total? Dude, super sharp. Also, what I wanted to point out, and you can't drive it home enough right now. The Yankees are the most handed split-based team And not just right now. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. And I don't mean to like exaggerate. Dude, I handicap 5,000 games and model over 5,000 games a year. This is insane. Yankees, is it number one? Number two in the league. WOBA versus lefties, 406 last 30 days. 370 expected WOBA. Those are ridiculous numbers. Those are Braves. That's what the Braves do when they're peaking. Righties, 286 WOBA last 30. Just downright despicable. 30% K rate as a team. 82 zone contact. That's against everybody last 500 PAs. Verlander is going to annihilate them today. Plus, like you said, the thing with Judge, there's no protection. He's gonna try and get ahead, and if he doesn't, he's gonna try and get into chase, and if he doesn't, he's gonna walk him and then strike out the next two guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, pitchers get that stuff. Anyway, let's just. I mean, all right, we did bet against the Yankees. I was like, we better bet against the Yankees, but I think that's a lot sharper than the run line, dude. Covering full game run line is very tough, and the Yankees bullpen's not bad. Like, we got to be honest, right? Even when we're dogpiling them because they suck. If Rodon happens to be okay for 5 innings, the Yankees are a tough team at the end of the game. So awesome stuff by you. You're the Mac, dude. You really are. Next up, you mentioned James Paxton earlier. I was wondering, the way you mentioned him was like, you have confidence. I've lost all confidence in James Paxton. I keep betting on him. He keeps losing. But now he's a 180 favorite against the Royals and Jordan Lyles. And like, this is one of the true disasters. And whatever you think about the Royals offense, because we have bet on them when they're peaking or upwave, they're really bad against lefties. If Paxton's going to be good, he better do it today. You like the Yankee? Maybe is this like a Red Sox run line for you?
No, this is actually the finish to the Senga parlay. So Senga was like minus 160, but I'm actually going into my no win market here, and that's going to be on Jordan Lyles. I'm going to be going to Jordan Lyles not to record a win. It's like minus 500, and it gets me to be playing Kodai Senga at minus 110 to keep me under 2.5. So it's just like it's wild to me that they're going to give me pretty much Senga straight up. Lyles has what, 2 wins this year?
I love the juice reducer. That's a really good one, dude. Is that shouldn't even be 500 to 1? I can't believe that's even
what I'm
up.
saying. This should be like minus 1,000, bro.
That's right. That's one of those joke bets. You're like, who pays minus 8,200? Like, you know what I'm saying? What?
It goes right around with that minus 160. Gets me to minus 110 on
right.
2.5 earned. It's pretty much taking 2. I love playing Jordan Lyles no win, dude. It's pretty much. How many wins does he have? 2? Does he have 2 wins? I don't even know if he has that. I think he might have 1.
Yeah, I think it's 1.
Yeah,
and I think he lost a complete. I think he lost a complete game.
Oh yeah, he was rolling. He had like 8 Ks in that game too.
I mean, the thing again, I like the angles you're taking, because where I can get myself into trouble is the money lines are too juiced. You end up looking at run lines, and like the Boston bullpen's been really bad. They have a +5 ERA, last 56 innings, 5.5 ERA, 1.8 WHIP. That's not any good. But the Royals bullpen's also pretty terrible. This one feels like an over to me. I'd actually bet this one. I kind of want to look at the algo. I'm surprised I'm not over. I mean, is it 8 or 8.5? I don't know what this one is. I got 9.5 Royals in this game.
When I look.
So even if it's it's 9.5, I'm not going to 10. I'm just not going there. I don't care that much. All right, let's go. Next one. Erod and the Tigers are going to Chicago. Touki Toussaint and the White Sox. Man, this one really got me. I can't quite figure it out. I guess because Detroit's offense so bad. What I'm getting at is, Jay, I'm out of these games. I see all the scores, then I go compare it to the books and everything or whatever. And I was kind of surprised to see Tigers minus 135. Erod versus Touki. Felt like like run to the window kind of auto smash. I don't really do that. When I ended up running all the algo stuff, I do have Detroit winning, but by a hair. What does the book and the algo know that I'm not getting?
I don't know, dude. I really don't like this game at all. But
okay.
It is an absolute auto bet for me every single time I see Touki Toussaint over
let's
walks.
get the Tigers money line. Go.
I always just bet him over walks. I mean, I took him over 2.5 walks the last 3 times. I'm pretty sure he had 4 or 5. It is pretty wild to me that they continue to leave it at that and give me plus money on it. I know everybody doesn't want to bet it at 2.5, but geez, it is wild. This guy gives up like 2 hits a game. He gives up like 2 or 3 hits, but there are so many guys on base. It is absolutely wild. Walks is on DraftKings, but they didn't open it yet, unfortunately. That's why I'm upset about this game, so I can't even bet it because I looked at it this morning, ready to circle it because I saw his name was there, and they didn't even list it yet. So whenever that comes out, they usually give you plus money because they never give you minus money on a 2.5 walk. But once they open that, probably a spot I'll be betting.
Yeah, oh, absolutely right. Yeah. Man, all right, we're going to take the Tigers. I'm like, I don't know. I get really messed up when like I don't get it, and I'm trying to look at the numbers like I built this thing. Like, why don't I understand it? The Tigers' offense has been bad. I mean, they're average against righties, worse against lefties. They're also striking out just a god awful amount. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is. You mentioned right, Toussaint had some. I mean, even his swing and miss stuff has not been great. 28 CSW. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. But I just think the Tigers are going to do it. I've been watching Erod. He looks really good, and the White Sox offense just looks
Orkelson, baby. He's hot. He's hot. He is swinging a hot bat. Riley Green is swinging a good bat as well. It's like
last mention for everybody because I don't know. I guess you follow the Twitter handle. I don't want to assume you follow all my stuff. DraftKings now has been putting out. We're into the FanDuel Daily Special K leaders. Everyone loves it. We did really well. DraftKings started putting out the daily team run leader.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is going to, whatever. I'm still I'm not arrogant now. I'm going to throw across the line. Dude, that was built for me. I literally model implied team totals. That's one of the things I do. That's one of the things that I made my bones in the industry doing. It's one of the reasons why DFS players I've had DFS players that use my work just for that. It's like their stack identifier. Because I don't always do individual hitter stuff. So I have pitcher stuff, but also this. So I have the Tigers. I have the Tigers as the fourth highest implied team total on the slate.
Wow.
I have Toronto, Houston, Boston, and then Detroit. The thing Detroit might beat 25-1. And you got to roll with these. We hit 3 out of 4 so far, and they're all plus 1,200, plus 1,500. So we've been taking the 2 or 3 bullets up top. The Braves are always a super chalk, so maybe you fade those hit that plus 600. But anyway, I know people are going to ask about that. So anyone out there that's following that stuff at night on the way home from work, Detroit Tigers on DraftKings for the team leader, they're guaranteed to be plus 18 or better. Guaranteed. So if you take one shot tonight, I get it. People that don't want to bet all this minus 110 stuff with us love these big cards. You know what I'm saying?
They love the big money spots.
And I get it. Go, by all means, go for it. Again, dude, that under strikeout prop is just those freaking things call my name. Of course, I hit for 10 G's on the toilet, and then I print them and miss. You know what I mean? It's a really listen. If you're betting plus 180s, you got to know it's a tough bet. All right, let's move it up. I'm gonna get out of your way for this one. I'm leaving it alone. Zach Wheeler in the Phillies going to Freddie Peralta. Your Brew Crew. I mean, this is the game to watch tonight. Easily, this is the game to watch. I have been betting on Freddie Peralta the entire season. He's exactly the guy I thought he was. This game, I'm pumping the brakes because the Phillies offense is F around and find out right now. So I'm just leaving this one, but I'm licking my chops at Peralta, even money through 5, man. You can't, it's hard to get that. It really is. So you can take your Brooker, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Peralta strikeouts is probably the way to go in this game just because, Philly has been fantastic, right? They've been absolutely amazing. They've been all at home and in really good hitting parks, though. And Peralta's been fantastic at home. He's been fantastic since he's come up. I always will continue to call it Miller Park till the day I die. It's Miller Park. But man, dude, this is a tough matchup. This is one of the hottest pitchers in baseball. This is the hottest offense in baseball. I have no bet in this game. I would lean towards the strikeouts, but I just got to give a quick shout out to my boy Trey Turner for trying to carry me into the playoffs here, dude. I got Turner cooking right now, Santander cooking right now, Galloff cooking right now, dude. These guys, they sucked all year for this playoff run. Trey Turner,
who needs 300 million, dude? He just needed a warm ovation, bro.
Oh my god,
it's you, Trey, baby.
Number 1 fantasy guy last week. It was nuts.
Come on. When really great players struggle and start to show you that's the easiest. Those are the easiest buy highs Teoscar Hernandez, you knew once you got a guy like that has a 2-homer game, a guy like Schwarber, when he's stinking, he hits a double, just run him for like a week or 2 weeks. They're going to be just blue hot fire. So I'm with you on this one. I'm leaving it. The one thing I have to highlight is, again, I look at so many of these freaking stats all the time that some stuff just pops. Dude, this is just absurd. Phillies, last 500 plate appearances, last 2 weeks. 1,000 OPS. 311 batting average, 32 home runs, 90 runs scored, 18% K rate, 50% hard hit, 11% barrel, 167 WRC plus.
But the tough part here is because they face the Nationals and the Angels, and now you're gonna have to come in to Miller and face Peralta. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna get Woodruff in this series. This is a good test because
you're right. You're right.
With the Dodgers and with the Braves. It's not even because they can hit. They can't hit. It's just you score 3 runs, you're gonna have a tough time messing with the bullpen. They got 4 guys under a 2.5 ERA. You got all these dudes throwing 100 plus out of there, and then you got Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta at the top. It's just like this is a good stepping stone. I want to see what the Phillies can do here, and obviously, you can tell by all the Brewers stuff in here, I'm a diehard fan here, so I'm gonna watch this series. I'm probably not even gonna bet one of these games. I'll probably go watch.
The Brew Crew is another kind of split team. They're really poor against righties. They're much better against lefties. And for some reason, they turn into this ground ball machine. The Brewers have a 48% ground ball rate as a team last 2 weeks. Ugh. I mean, it's very hard. It's very hard to get out, and I'm watching these. I bet the Brewers a lot because I like the pitching, and the offense has kept the pricing fair, but they get someone on, it's a double play. They get someone on, it's a double play. And you're like, man, this is really frustrating. I think we lost the Brewers 3 times.
That, man?
I think I dropped the Brewers 3 F5s in 2 weeks. I don't think we gave up more than 3 runs combined in the 3 starts, but 1-0 the other day. Woodruff lost the F5 1-0. It's just, it's like sucks so bad. Anyway, next up. Again, I'm going to try and get out of your way on this one. I guess I won't bury the lead. I bet the Pirates because if they came in even money, it's Mitch Keller on the road against Dakota Hudson. I don't like sometimes again I just don't get the pricing. Like I look and I don't feel like I need to model this one. Mitch Keller has a sub-4 expected ERA, sub-4 Sierra, 26K to 7 walk. He's a good pitcher. Sub-4 Sierra last 40 days, 105 stuff plus. 28% strikeout rate last 40 days as well. Dakota Hudson, not very good. And the St. Louis offense has absolutely tanked. I don't know. This was like a name brand thing to me, and those are the bets I like to make. So I'm betting the Pittsburgh money line, St. Louis offense, last 500 plate appearances, a 209 batting average, 621 OPS, 47% ground ball rate, 6% barrel. That's good for a 72 WRC plus. They have 11 home runs in that span. They've not been good. Keller has always been a bit up and down. He showed us maybe he's taking a step forward. He sustained it for a while. The second he pitched bad, it was like, oh, this guy sucks again. Oh, my God. Sometimes that was totally, I thought that was an overreaction. I think Keller is a good pitcher. I don't think Hudson is good. I think the 2 offenses will slug it out for whatever. So tell me at the very least, if you don't agree with Pittsburgh, that we should be betting the over on this one.
Yeah, no, these lines scare me a little bit, right? Because it's like, why is this line so close?
Fishy line,
Dakota Hudson is terrible. He's absolutely, and that's why I'm like, it almost makes me want to bet the Cardinals because why are you giving me this line? Like, why? I've actually seen that a lot lately where I'm like, I'll bet on them just because they're just off. It just doesn't. I just don't understand it, and I don't think it should be. It should not be even close. I think Keller should definitely be the bigger favorite here, but I think that this is just telling me it's either going to be dog or pass here in the Cardinals. That's pretty much what it's got to be because the Cardinals bullpen sucks too. It's not like they have a good bullpen either. So it's like, why is this line there? And it's I think that they think Mitch Keller gets blown up, right? They have to think that Mitch Keller gets blown up. And I'm going to probably bet the over because then I'll be a little safer. But if it's going to be one, I think it's going to be a dog or pass on the Cardinals possibly.
Yeah. See, that's where I kind of thought we were going to lead. Also, you mentioned it. Keep Pittsburgh Pirates in mind for the team run lead. I have them right behind the Tigers, tucked in at 5th. We mentioned already. Listen, Hudson, they're pretty much surrendering. He no swing and misses, 92 zone contact. Like he's literally pitching batting practice to these guys. And most importantly, if you want to take down these daily things, the reason why I've done so well, I'm pretty good at modeling bullpens. I've done, man, it's a lot of work and a lot of being wrong, but I've gotten pretty close. And you mentioned it. It's not just people see 6.5 ERA last 42 and 2/3, which is terrible, but it's much deeper than that. 319 batting average allowed, a 15% strikeout rate from your bullpen. You can't do that. 88 zone contact. So again, you're getting this batting practice going on. You're not striking anybody out. You're putting guys on and allowing a plus 300 average to the last 33% of all your games after Hudson. And so I put that just assumed Hudson for 6. He's not going 6. Jay, do me a favor. Why you mention it? The Dakota Hudson out prop, right? Oh, look, I'm trying to show that I'm learning here, because if he's set for 6 innings, I want to mash that under. I don't think he does. So he's 15.5. So we would need him to come out. We would need him to come out for the 6th. So like, that's it, right? Like this, is there any way this guy comes out in the 6th inning?
I don't know. Didn't he? He's got a pretty high pitch count in these games. It's just like
yeah, I know that. I'm going to check that right now. I'm looking.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was going to be a little bit higher the line. So maybe other people. I guess. I mean, it's like him being bad is any kind of thing. No. He's actually come out for the. He's come out for the 6th the last 3 in a row. He went 7-2 before that, but then hadn't done it the entire way. So, all right, I'd feel more comfortable with what, again, is almost definitely going to be plus 20 to 1 or better, although we've mentioned this. Joey Burr, great question. And hold on, Jay, we could have a better lead in. Jay, I'm going to mention the word mole. It says, what program are you guys using to seal the lines at different sites? Well, we're using betstamp.app. Jay, do me a favor, clear your throat. Tell them all about it, my friend.
For sure, John, I got you here. It's simple. If you want to improve as a sports bettor, the easiest way to do so is to use an odds comparison tool like BetStamp, like you saw on the screen there. BetStamp simply compares odds across all platforms, including games, player props, futures, save time and money by betting through BetStamp. If you're looking to sign up for more sports books, make sure you check out the link on the screen, the link in the pin chat, and the link in the description. It's betstamp.app/call to the pen. If you sign up through that link, it helps support the show. Now back to the crew.
All right, appreciate you, my man. Insight, I see you, Wix, Far Sports, OPMG, all my dudes, Brian Rose, dropping bombs. What I was going to get at is, I think we have there's a mole in here somewhere, because we've had times where lines won't come out until after we mention stuff, until after we cover the game. Yesterday, that out prop that I mentioned changed within 60 seconds of us mentioning it. Not even 60 seconds. Maybe it was Andre Jackson yesterday with the Pirate. I think that's what it was. I'm sorry. As I was raving and the shots rolling in, hit it, gone, poof. So that's part of it too. I mentioned like betting the general market. We do focus on the PM stuff for the commuter crowd, but I think anybody listening to this type of analysis at this time of the year kind of knows that there's an edge to be had betting earlier. There just is, and those couple cents on both ends could be the difference between making money and losing money at the end of the year. That's just the truth of it. Even though, we really do our best. This one, it's the Blue Jays and Hyunjin Ryu against Chris Flexen and the Rockies. You know how I feel about cores. So for me, this one is the Blue Jays are starting to wake up just a little bit. They've really struggled against right-handed pitching. So for me, this one is, you're probably looking for Toronto to mash Flexen, or you kind of leave it alone. Also, if you'd like to address these 12 over-unders that I just can't bet. So I don't like these games.
No, that's good. Cross-off game for me. I didn't even want to bet this game.
Now, because I know people ask me, and I always am very honest, like I'm not right or you're wrong. We all do things differently. Do you have a number, Jay, that you won't go over or under? Yesterday, again, I think it was 13.5 when these things close. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I do not have a number that I won't go to.
No, you'll go over 12.5 if you like.
I will go up as high as I need to.
You got the CO Jones, baby. That's okay.
Yeah,
no,
it's not a specific number. Just
I'm a coward, dude. It's okay. We're friends. Call me out, brother. I have a problem. I struggle with like going 0-10. as if like baseball games don't go over. Again, it's me. It's anecdotal, and I've had struggles with it. I've done a little back testing, but not enough. I mean, books post them and people play them. My piece of advice to people is this: wait until the very last second and go under. If you go under blind on every MLB game listed at 12 or above, you're absolutely going to win more than you lose. They don't, because again, the original line I think is probably correct at like 11. The public starts to steam Colorado at the last second, especially when people like you, smart people, like it. Then you know how some people don't understand reading the board. You'll promote something at 10.5. It'll close at 12. It'll lose in the middle. What happened, Justin? I thought we liked the over. And you're like, dude, I was over 10. I was over 10. That's what, you know what I mean? Like I know that you get it. We talk about capping for the public can be difficult. Anyway, next up, Cole Irvin. 2 Irvins in one day. Wow. -115. Baltimore Orioles in the desert against Zach Davies and the Orioles. Again, I'm kind of wondering why I didn't get a trigger for an over here, and looks like I just have the Arizona offense is not doing much of anything. Yeah, they've been really, really bad against right-handed pitching. Against lefties as well. Or Cole Irvin's lefty. Yeah, I'm not sure. My gut was kind of thinking over on this one. Maybe it was listed too high. Jay, do you like anything in this one? I really can't. I couldn't sink my teeth into it. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yes, Jay was Avila. Yes, they're right. That was the one. Not Andre Jackson. Thank you. It was Avila. Just keep
Andre Jackson was phenomenal for the Pirates a couple days ago. I had him in DFS. He was
awesome. Yeah, sorry. I had the wrong guy. Yeah,
I think it was 2 days ago. But it's I really, dude, I don't know if I'm sure if people here follow me, they've seen me just tweeting about this guy, and I've been. How are the books allowing me to get even -140? I don't even care that I'm betting juice here. And I don't bet juice like ever. I'm betting Santander over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Again, I'm going to do it until these books figure their shit out, man. How? I don't get it. How is Gunnar Henderson 2.5? And Santander, who has an RBI in like 6 straight games, has a 9-game hit streak, has home runs in 3 of his last 5 games. How are you giving me him at 1.5? There's so many guys on base. He's going to probably be batting 3. You got Adley and Gunnar in front of him. How are you giving me a 1.5? Every single time. He hits it in the first inning last game. He had a homer again in the last game. You're going to Arizona where, I know it's not as nice of a park home run-wise to lefties as it is in Baltimore. But
he's been awful at home this year, too.
Yeah,
Davies has been
unbelievable.
Davies has been a gas can at home. 8.11 OPS, 6.25 ERA at home. He's been terrible.
If you're not going to miss bats against Santander, you're going to be I would love to see what his fly ball rate is, because I rarely see this dude hit the ball straight into the ground. It's either a line drive or in the air.
Yeah, you nailed it.
He is so good, and he is the streakiest hitter. I've drafted him in fantasy baseball the last 3 years. There are weeks where I will bench him because he can't hit. And then there's weeks where he'll carry my team. And this is the 2nd week in a row he is carrying my team. Him and Trey Turner taking me to the promised land of the playoffs here. He is so good. He's hot right now. How are you continuing to give me 1.5 when he's going to have RBI opportunities? The guys behind him are fantastic. This lineup is so deep. You're going to have Mountcastle probably behind him, Hayes behind him. Like, these guys are good hitters. How am I getting this at 1.5? There's just something is up, and I'm going to continue to take it until they figure it out.
Yeah, you know what? What you're saying sounds kind of similar to my kind of confusion with the under strikeout props. And a lot of it is, I think we give the books too much credit on these prop markets. I think they just build these very general computer programs, and then they have programs to move when people bet them. That it's almost like, they're not even worth paying somebody to be too cute with them. The first person kind of gets a little bit of edge. If you smash them too hard, they'll just limit you. You know what I'm saying? So like they have like the ultimate, but it's the truth. They have the ultimate back door. They're like, we're not even going to let you kill us, right? So you know what? I want to get Jay. Let's bet these Baltimore thing. He's sold because, again, he's right. If you're going to pitch the contact to the Orioles, you're going to get punished. I don't like Davies, and there is a huge disparity in bullpens. Baltimore, like the top 2 bullpen, even without Batista, they're awesome. 2.4 ERA last 40 innings. Arizona falling apart right now. So I want to bet Baltimore close to that, right? It's like close to even, right? -110, -115. I love that. Baltimore's just a superior team right now. Diamondbacks kind of falling apart. So I like that one. I love your call on the HRs also. I just think they're using different data sets. Like your I like to talk in terms of sine waves. I hate when people say, "Oh, chasing recency." You're not. You're looking at the whole picture and how, you know what I mean. Like you're not like, "Oh, it's 6 days." You know what kind of hitter he is and what he's capable of in spurts. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Again, the books with the strikeout stuff, they use whole year data or 3-year data. Like we know these things move in 50 or 60 or 100 plate appearance waves. Like guy like, sure, I missed yesterday. I should have mentioned it today. Go right back to the well. Anyone out there? I know I missed. Jesus Sanchez to not strike out. Dude, he is impossible to strike out. Yes, he struck out yesterday. Might have been twice. Who cares? Facing Jake Irvin, he's going to be plus 190 to not strike out. Maybe even better because he struck out yesterday. He might be plus 205 to not strike out. It's just weird. Like, I was reading it off yesterday. Jay, it was something like 30 plate appearances. He has like a 1% swinging strike rate, 15% chase rate. These like banana numbers, just crazy. Guys get locked in. They're seeing the ball well. They're feeling healthy. That's another one we never quantify. What you think these guys are healthy all year? These guys are never healthy.
It's probably like 20 games a year where you feel 100%.
And to me, I like to link that. To me, that's kind of what explains the rest of it. In Jurassic Park terms, that's the frog DNA, right? We have pieces of data. We need to bridge them. And I'm like, but guys just might be healthy. And again, like these are the things that you get. You're around ball players and have a experience with it. All right, next up. I'm not going to bury the lead. I'm just auto over. It's Patrick Sandoval, the Angels, Oakland, and JP Sears. I know, like, the public kind of LOLs the offenses, but I think the pitching is really bad on both sides. And if not, I know the bullpens are really bad. This total was listed at 8 when it opened. So I should have mentioned that. If we can still get it at 8, I want to go over. If I can get the 9th, I'm okay pumping the brakes. What do you like here?
Well, first I want to make sure that the guy in the comments, Jay Shank 44, I'm on Santander, Anthony Santander. He just asked me what Baltimore guy.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Jay's really cool, man.
Yeah, I just want to make sure he knows where we're at. I have no idea. This game, I have no idea what I want to do here. This game is so gross. I don't like.
Poof, is it 8?
What'd you say?
No, I was asking a producer. Yeah, I'm curious. If it's still at 8, I want to go over. Again, these bullpens are so whack. They are so bad. We've seen Sandoval fall apart. We know Oakland can hit at spurts. So like this one, I think the public is just kind of like, oh, these two teams stink, and it's an 8. And to me, 8's just too low, so I'm going over.
One thing or two things that I might take that I've thought about now that I'm thinking about the lefty on that side. Esteury Ruiz stolen base, just with the amount. He probably will be at the top of the order today instead of the 9. As a lefty there, because I know Lawrence Butler and him have been switching. But the walk rate for Sandoval has always been pretty high. So if we get a walk on it, dude, he is going to immediately steal. Like, that's the thing that you don't have to worry about him not wanting to do it. If he touches first base, he will run in that at-bat immediately. Also, how can I not bet Zach Galoff over hits, runs, RBI?
Lefty or not, you think? I actually don't see. You know what's funny? It's another one I don't have my eye on, maybe close enough. Like, I don't know, does Sandoval give up as a lefty? Does he give up a lot of stolen bases?
No, he's got a good pickoff move. He's got a good pickoff move. But that's the thing is, it truly, to me, does not matter at all. Because he is going to try.
Yeah, Ruiz, I know. That's the thing.
He's the one guy that I do not care. And that's why, like,
yeah,
I've seen a bunch of times with Corbin Carroll. You see guys like even Acuna. There's some times where they won't go in at bat if they don't get a good read. Esteury Ruiz will run if he has a shit or crappy read, whatever it is.
Right.
He will go.
And he still hard to throw out.
He just goes. And I'm like, I love it, dude. I just love it because he just sits at like plus 150 for a stolen base because he barely plays anymore. But dude, he is so fun. What is he at? Oh my, 200? Oh man, if he touches first base, he is, dude. That is, I will be playing that. That is plus 290 for a guy who's missed half the season. I want 53 stolen bases. Jesus, I'm betting that.
Yeah, I absolutely think he's going. Coop, you want to throw a buck on the stolen base? If we can get that, I'm down with that. Next one, all right. I want to be quick. This one is pretty quick. I kind of have this one as a misprice. It's Michael Wacha and the Padres at home against Tristan Beck and the Giants. I mean, the Giant bullpen, which was really good to start the year, has really kind of gotten exposed. The Giants' offense is really bottoming out. They're especially bad against righties. Padre offense has been very good lately. Beck, I mean, he's okay. I don't know what we're going to get. And again, I don't know who's coming in behind him. We've seen Wacha just, throw the lead changeup 1,000,000 times. That's what I think we're going to get. I was surprised to see San Diego minus 135. I like San Diego straight up here. I'm going to eat a little bit of juice. I think the offense gets it done.
It's I don't like betting bullpen games, to be honest. I really don't. And what was really concerning to me was yesterday the amount of walks that the Giants were giving to the Padres and their inability to hit with guys on base. Sean Manaea just walked 3 dudes and he would find a way to get out of it, and they could not push runs across. And I don't know what it is, but I will not touch those bullpen games because Jacob Junis shoved on him for 4. You got Manaea for 3, and you didn't even use the high-end arms out of the back end there. So we could see multiple innings from Duvall. We've seen that happen there. Like, they can shorten this game significantly.
I think you would just explain the price,
Yeah.
Like, I still think the Padres should be a little bit – I just think they're in a different class, although, look at me, I don't know if you've seen the extra inning record and the one-run game record for the Padres. They're not nearly as bad as – that shit's crazy. That's like Minnesota Vikings from last football season. It's just never happened. They haven't – I think they might be 0-12 in extra innings, and forget it. They must have lost 90% of their one-run games. So I don't know. I have the Padres just a class ahead of the Giants. Their offense is gross. I wanted to look at Waka because, remember we were mentioning at the open. So, okay, people, this is a good one. Yeah, I know you don't want to do it because it feels gross, but you got to look at Waka for the daily K leader, and you got to look at Waka for the alt prop. The reason being, we've heard this song before. The Giants are atrocious. They strike out like crazy. Right now, they're not striking out, and they still have a 27% strikeout rate as a team, 83 zone contact. The other piece of the puzzle I've been using, Jay, remember when you were talking about Glass now, great strikeout, versus the Guardians, who don't really strike out. This is the flip side. Waka, who's not a strikeout guy. I get the teams that do strike out. Guess what? Waka has 2 double-digit strikeout games on the ledger this season. He's got 2 of them. And it's one of them was actually at Atlanta. Go figure. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But the fact of the matter is, anybody can win the daily K leader thing. And the fact that they have the balls to post somebody going up against either the Twins or the White Sox, or these Giants at 100, because he might be 100-1. Some of these bets are 120-1. We're like that. We calling it out in real time. So people, because I do get I get hit up all the time about the board. So keep an eye on that one for sure. That Michael Walker is probably my favorite. Yeah, it's not posted, so he's probably my favorite long shot to take it.
One reason I really, really love the analysis you just gave there, because the reason why I've been doing well with the strikeout props and the alt lines up is because you look at these, and it's the same thing with Senga, right? Same thing with Waka. When you have a pitch that is significantly better against the opposite hand, and the Giants are going to roll out 8 lefties today, right? They're going to. That's how they play, right? You might get maybe 7 because you'll keep Haniger and Estrada.
They'll all be out in the 5th inning, but yeah.
Yeah, but all these lefties in there have to deal with the only pitch Michael Waka wants to throw you in a big count. And that's the changeup. And that is significantly better to the opposite hand. It's going away from you. You're going to either get a swing and miss or really soft contact. Should allow him to go deep in games. And that's what I'm saying. When you have Senga, who's got the ghost fork, if you're going to have 6 or 7 lefties on that team, that ball is going to wipe out away from you, and you are swinging and missing. That is why this Giants team is absolutely perfect for Michael Waka to go completely berserk on him today. If he can keep the ball in the zone, he is going to absolutely shove.
All right, we had a little too much fun. There's 2 left on the schedule. The last one is the Cubs. They're going to open with Shane Green against Ben Lively. So nothing is posted yet for that. You got to see the first game's got to happen. I agree with Coop before air was. I think it'll be after the first game happens, like you guys said. I think that's when it'll come up. The other one is Max Fried and Julio Rice, Braves and Dodgers. So early on, we had a game to watch. And then later on, I think this is the game to watch. So while I'm watching all my bets rolling on the scoreboard, I'm going to be watching Wheeler and Peralta. I'm going to finish it up with this one at the end, which is Fried and Urias. But I generally do not bet these games. These kind of marquee games. One angle I tell people when they really want to bet, which again is a bad strategy, what do we play? I need to play something. It's just kind of maybe play the run line. Whoever's getting the run in this game has a good that bet has a really good chance of cashing. Max Fried is minus 120 to Urias 110. Do you have a strong stance in this? If not, we can get everyone out of here for a good weekend.
Probably just the over. Braves #1 against lefties, and obviously the Dodgers.
Real over 8.5. Okay.
That would be my
the bullpens really scare me in this one.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely agree, but you just got to see a close game last night. Again, you get to see the higher end guys, usually second day, little less, pop behind it. But also, I think the Braves get to Urias, man. I think they get to him. I really do. I'm too high on the Braves. Dude, that offense is so good. Number one team against lefties by 60 in OPS for the year. They're 60 points higher than anybody else against lefties for the year. I can't get away from the Braves. I bet them so much. They're so good.
I want to see the Braves team total. So what does the Braves team total come in like? Today would be the lowest that it will ever come in. So I'm just out of curiosity.
Wow, Dodgers 3-0. Oh, I like that.
Oh, 4.5. So Atlanta's 4.5. That's it, right? You're never going to get them at 4. I mean, listen, the Braves are a pop for 5 runs in the parking lot. I get that part, but I was still hoping Urias, with the way the Dodger pen has been, and it's been phenomenal, that it wouldn't be. So I'm probably not going to go to 5. But again, I hear you, because they price these things down, and then the public gets in on it. I was surprised. If I was going to go over, though, this one might get down to 8 before we close.
Oh, yeah.
With the 2 aces, I don't know. The public with these offenses is hard to read. So maybe I feel that sometimes that's why 8.5 is up there. That it's like, oh, whatever, right in the middle. Let people kind of figure it out on their own. So, Josh, we really appreciate you, man. Again, everyone, the daily leaders are not up, but you're going to get chalk with Verlander. I'm not really interested in that. I'm going to be looking at Waka. I think Waka is my really deep throw. And then for the run leaders, I'm going to be looking at Detroit and Pittsburgh pricing, which again is how I think you win these things. Just close it out. Tell everyone where they can find your stuff. Make sure you promote Pass the Prop. Love, man, such good stuff.
Yeah, Pass the Prop Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We just did our first NFL futures yesterday, so that was awesome. We got our NFL win on the 3-game MLB slate. So over there, that's on my YouTube channel, Player Props Yvonne over on YouTube, and obviously over on Twitter. I'll post all my free plays over there. But yeah, it's been fun. Obviously, I always love popping on. I always like talking to like-minded people. I talk about analytics. Man. I watch baseball way too much, but it's nice when I get to talk to someone who's like,
yeah, you're home. You're home, bro. You really are. You're home, and like iron sharpens iron. You sharpen me, and that's really. Like, you were so open-minded and open-armed, welcoming me into your own space. And now, I consider you a really good friend of mine for this thing of ours. We really all appreciate you. Everybody, obviously, you make sure you follow Justin. This dude is mad sharp, and he's going to work. We'll be working together through football stuff, too, which I'm really looking forward to. We love those old prop ladders. I'm obsessed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm firmly obsessed with old prop ladders. I can't believe people pay -110 for a prop when you can get +240 for another 8 yards. I will never ever understand that. You find me the guy that just clears his prop by a yard. My God, Devonta Smith was going over by 30 yards every week when we hit. Oh my God, I can't wait. Josh Allen rush props. Just get ready. Everyone, just get ready. It's gonna be glorious. So from just hang with Mr. Cooper and Big Johnny, everyone that called to the pen, please rate, review, and subscribe. It matters more than it should. Get up in the comments. Make sure you follow my man Josh. Make sure you're checking out his show. Even follow his co-host Stewie. They're part of this thing. If you appreciate the work that I do, they're a part of it. They're part of the quilt that we're putting together. So everyone, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day when we're done with the book. Enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this hard, it's a lot less like luck, yo. Peace.